And now we open with butts, nipples, crotches, butts in a cape. And I'm Jackie.
Like watching your parents get murdered, now I must take to the night and make sure no one else must endure it. I'm Justin.
And Joel Schumacher just kept saying, remember, people, it's a cartoon.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Sticker Madness.
Who are you?
I'm Steve.
Steve, you look a lot like Sam.
I'm going to try that whole thing over again.
You smell better, too.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's
Just
keep it.
leave it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. This is Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. You have met us already. 1997's Batman. Finally, we are two parts. Something that I thought would never happen, that I just never wanted to deal with on this podcast, was Batman and Robin, because it's kind of like the Phantom Menace.
It's just out there so much.
Out there, so lampooned, so bashed for, what is this, 21 years
later.
Jesus Christ, time. I thought we were never going to get to it. But then I never thought we were going to get through all these goddamn Batman movies, too, because it's taken forever.
22 years later.
22 years later. That is amazing. Jackie, something tells me that this was the first time you'd ever seen Batman and Robin. Is that true, or am I just making that up?
Yep, this is the first time I'd ever seen this one.
Wow. What caused you to avoid it? Because, I mean, despite it being shit, it was a big deal still.
After the last one and the Ping one,
right? I
just didn't have any interest.
You were out on Batman.
Yeah. What year was this one, Sam?
97.
Yeah, I was in high school,
This
so...
is right when we all probably started heavy drinking as well.
Yeah. Could be.
I mean, if it was a summer release, then I was in a drunken alcoholic haze getting ready to go to college.
Fair enough. You got no time for Mr. Freeze. The only thing that you want that's cold are some cold booze.
Cold ones, yeah. And you went to U of I for your first 2 years, right?
I did. So
University of Idaho, the majority of our listeners would have no fucking idea what the University of Idaho is.
I did. So during the summertime, it is tradition for the fraternities and the just the fraternities, I should say, to come to the capital city, and they have little parties that they throw in order to interest particular young men or prospects, right? Into joining their house in the fall. And so there was one of these parties, I don't know, like every fucking day. And, I didn't work, so I just went all the time. And it was pretty scary. It was the first time I'd ever been at a party that the cops broke it up.
Ooh.
I hid in the bathroom. I didn't come out.
Nice. They never check there.
Well, they did. They did knock on the door, and I'm like, oh, man.
Pooping.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can't reach the door, and I'm taking a massive shit.
You're like, did you see that scene in Dreamcatcher? Don't come in here.
You guys are being light on U of I. It was top 10 party school for 21 years running in U.S. News and World Report.
All right.
Kids fell out of windows drunk there.
Sure.
I mean, it was that place was a shit show.
It was a shit show. We need to talk about Batman and Robin. Sam, tell us everything you know about this pile of shit.
Well, first off, it's not very good.
No? Okay, check. Got that part taken care of.
So, this thing cost $125 million.
Yikes! In 1997, what do you think that is today? That's like, I bet you that would be...
175.
Yeah, but with modern budgets, I bet you it would be close to 2 that they would have dumped into this
This would have been sort of, I think that John Carter is a similar failure in terms of its inflated number, but that was actually 10 years ago now.
Right.
Thinking back on that.
Right.
It only made 107 back domestically.
Yikes.
It's not good.
No.
And then it did 238 worldwide, but God knows what.
Oh yeah.
Any of that was at that point.
Right.
So was George Clooney? Was he? Was like his first movie? Movie, or was he just like still General Hospital guy?
He was still on ER.
Yeah, he was. On ER.
Okay.
ER was his ticket.
Did despite the reports that his costume was the heaviest and it was about 75 pounds.
Good God.
He couldn't turn his neck.
Right.
He fell down and couldn't get up one time. He still, as a joke, took the costume off set and brought it onto set showed up to work at ER as Batman.
Oh boy. And then somebody had to peel him out of it.
Yeah, then he was like, "Look, guys, I'm Batman. Somebody get me off the ground.
Right.
I'm stuck again." Also, George Clooney has reportedly, if you meet him and you say that you saw Batman and Robin at the theater, he will refund you the ticket price personally.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what I want from George Clooney. Can I have my $4 back, Mr. Clooney? Don't you have a better time? Like, if you're meeting George Clooney, $4 is probably the least of your concern.
Exactly.
Unless he gives you the giant check. Like, if you can have him give you a giant check for $4,
$4.25.
Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there seemed like he was the one that had the most fun. Like when they called rap for the full shoot, he's like, "All right, people, we just killed the franchise." And when they were talking, like during the celebrity interviews on what people were gonna bring with them, home from the set, Schwaz was gonna take his suit, and everybody wanted pieces of their own costumes to bring home with them. And Clooney was like, "Well, I'm going to take Ellie McPherson with me."
Oh,
yeah, hello.
Hey.
And then probably did.
Probably.
Was that his pretend girlfriend in the movie?
Yeah, Elle McPherson, yeah.
She's a supermodel, right?
Yeah.
At the time?
Yeah, big deal.
Yep, big deal.
She's up there. I would say I would rank her up there with anybody at this point in time, Elle McPherson.
She's she's one of the name supermodels. There's only so many, right? And that's throughout the supermodel history.
Do you want a list? Because I can.
You gonna open up the spank bank? No.
Well, let's start in 1967.
Yeah, exactly. Oddly enough, now even though the thing didn't do good, they were Warner Brothers would see the dailies, and they loved the dailies so much that they were fast tracking the sequel.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah,
what were they fucking thinking?
I don't know.
Like. Man.
But what's odd is that of all the things that, like, the straw that seemed to have broke the camel's back on the fast track sequel was when Clooney said he wasn't going to do it.
Which is insane because he's the worst cast ever, maybe ever in a movie.
He was better than Val Kilmer.
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
I think George Clooney is the worst Batman that's ever existed. I can't imagine casting a worse Batman.
I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman.
No.
I really like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Here's my beef with Clooney. Val Kilmer's not a good actor, but he at least understood Bruce Wayne has some issues.
Sure.
Clooney's being Clooney. He's doing the head shake. He's all toothy. Like Batman and Bruce Wayne should never be that toothy. Like they're brooding. Like I live in a fucking cave. What am I doing smiling like this and shaking my head?
And he brought the turtleneck too.
Right.
Because that was like an early Clooney thing that he always had the turtleneck.
Right.
I'm glad that he got over that.
Yeah, no kidding. He was nominated for worst screen couple with Chris O'Donnell for the Razzie, but he didn't win, and he was not nominated for worst actor. Believe it or not.
No. Well, you know what? Actually, one of the reasons this thing didn't do very good is it just got its butt kicked bad by a movie that was released at the same exact time, and it was Face Off.
Oh no!
This thing got its ass kicked by Face
By
Off.
Face Off.
Like Warner Brothers still thinks if they would have released it in a different block, it would have done better.
They're idiots.
And it's like, well, did this thing get its ass kicked by Face Off, or did you make Face Off a good movie by putting this shit up against it?
Right.
People really liked Face Off. I was not one of them.
Right.
I was puzzled by the success of Face Off. Speaking of Schwaz, because he gets top billing.
Right.
That happened in the first one. Nicholson had billing over Keaton.
That's true. That's a good point.
Guess how much Schwaz took?
In
his salary.
Oh, $13 million.
$25 million.
$25 million.
Schwaz was $25 million.
Wow. That's a chunk. That's a big amount.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
He also had to spend 6 hours a day in makeup.
Right. Yeah, I guess that, that adds into that quite a bit. Your hourly rate of $500,000.
Is that the cocaine? Is that added in there?
The what?
The cocaine that they had to give him so that after the 6 hours he could
right.
actually act.
Yeah.
Schwaz he's as clean as a whistle. That guy.
He's a professional.
Other than possibly steroids.
Right. And
Midgets.
What?
He in an interview he said,
he said a lot of things.
He used to eat little people. What?
No, he said the most fun I ever had was after a Mr. Universe, and I was having the sex with the midgets.
Sex, right?
He probably said the sex.
He banged some little people. All right,
and he called them midgets.
Sure. It was 1978 when he did that interview.
Yeah.
So, we didn't care about fuck, I guess, back then.
Apparently, Alicia Silverstone had a lot of her scenes cut.
Okay.
She gained too much weight and couldn't fit into the costume, and this became a huge thing on Variety ran a story about it, and the whole world started fat shaming her. And Schumacher comes out and he's like, "Really, you fucking cocksuckers?" She's like, 1, 19, she's gonna gain weight, and 2, we really have a problem with bulimia right this second.
Right.
You fucking cocksuckers.
And how much weight? Let's be honest here. This is 1997. When's that Aerosmith shit?
It doesn't. That's gonna be the thing with a costume like that. You don't need to gain but 5 pounds, and you ain't gonna fit into it again.
I guess, but maybe add some adjusters here and there. Maybe deal with it, guys. Maybe find a fucking solution to the problem instead of being like, "Hey, you fat piece of shit. You used to weigh 105, now you weigh 108. Go to hell."
They might have just built
what the
it
fuck
too small. O'Donnell said that even though his looked exactly the same, the first one, because they have 2 costumes each, he couldn't barely fit into his, and it was uncomfortable.
Then that's on them.
Yeah, and I think that one of the reasons why they had to cut it rather than put her in it too small is because she probably was going to pass out from not being able to breathe.
Hey man, maybe those pounds went straight to her chest, and now we're talking. They
didn't.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of spank banks, she didn't make it in.
No, she didn't. I hate to say,
even though I love the movie Clueless.
In hindsight,
Whatever happened to her? You never see her.
She's got a health food blog now.
Yeah, and recently she was involved with animals, the ASPCA. So she's doing a lot of volunteer work and shit. So
okay.
I have no problem with Alicia Silverstone, the person. I do think her meteoric rise was a little...
she was the hot thing out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere because of Aerosmith again.
Yeah.
We're going to latch the identity of the 90s basically onto an Aerosmith. She was as big a deal as the fucking Rachel. I mean, she was huge.
She was huge. Aerosmith was huge.
I guess, but
Anything
man, what were we thinking then?
I don't know.
Limited options. Limited options.
I guess.
What was the name of that album that they came back on?
Shit.
Get a Grip.
Yeah, Get a Grip. Right.
Yeah, that sold all of the. It was 130 times platinum.
Yeah, right.
You go back and listen to it now, and you're like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck was this?"
That's about the size of it on the.
I still go back and listen to it.
I bet you do.
The story of there's a lot of stuff that leads into how this thing really its failure and all of the things that everybody wanted to do leads into Christopher Nolan getting licensed to do basically whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Right. Yeah. Well, you can't.
6
fuck
years
it up.
later.
Right. Alicia Silverstone won the Razzie for Worst Supporting Actress. It was also nominated for Worst Remake or Sequel, Worst Picture. How did it not win Worst Picture? That's what's baffling to me.
Didn't Face Off win Worst Picture?
Let's table that to the end. Let's because we've done an episode on Face Off. We're the pros. We're the experts. If anybody was to know which movie was worse, judging in hindsight in the year 2019, it would be us.
It would be us.
We're the guys.
That's
so let's,
the ones in the pants.
Let's try not to forget that.
Sure.
Yeah, all right. So if you guys are ready to go, let's go because Jackie has already started it. Butts, dicks, nipples, butts, cocks, butts, bats, balls, butts.
He waited till about 3/4 of the way through the movie before he was like, butts
in Batman Forever.
Whereas in this one, the movie starts and it's it goes from which Dolby Digital Surround I think was new, so they have this like super 7:1 surround graphic sequence at the beginning that sucks.
Yeah,
and it goes from that directly to butts,
to cocks and butts,
and it's just like nothing on screen but a butt,
bat dick, Robin butt,
nipples,
bat
eyes.
butt, Robin dick, double nipples. Wow,
Cape.
It's raining men.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Lulia.
I liked it.
It's so not Batman, but like it's iconic. This movie, like,
sure.
I mean, you sit down in that theater and be like, oh god, that last one wasn't very good. You know, it was really silly and basically a sequel to the campy '60s version. But you know, let's see if he goes where I think he's going to go with this one. You open on that, you're like, nope, it's nope.
Whoa,
no!
hey yo,
This is not brooding Batman Begins by any means, or Batman Year One, or The Dark Knight Returns. This is confetti cannon Batman.
There's no era of Batman that had this many butts in it.
No.
This is its own thing. It's butts.
And then the Batmobile comes up. They're ready to go into action. What they're doing, they've suited up and they've shown us their cocks. And they're ready to go into action. The bat signal has happened. But they stare at the Batmobile as it comes up its little hydraulic lift into the Batcave. It takes fucking forever, and they just look at it like, do they do this every time?
Yeah.
There's an emergency. They're like, hold it. We got to look like sweet dudes for a minute before we get into the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Well, technically, they were supposed to hit the button on the way to getting dressed.
Shouldn't you, like when you're in your chair, in Wayne Tower and you hit that button and you slide into the tube, shouldn't that launch the Batmobile like you're saying, Jackie? Like it's already on its way up?
Yeah, maybe that button's broken. So that they have another one just in case it's not rising that's at the end of the tube. And Robin's supposed to hit that one, but he never does.
No, because Robin's an asshole.
He is. Plus, nobody's hitting any buttons. They're just putting their butts in front of the camera. Like, butts.
The only buttons that's being, it's butt on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Butts on film.
Yeah. So
we should also mention that the new engine in the Batmobile is a kaleidoscope.
Right.
It runs on the power of images,
Like
or light, or I don't even know.
That's what they're doing. They're just looking at this thing being like, sweet Batmobile, right? Am I right, Robin? He's like, this thing sucks.
How many did you eat, Robin? And he's like, too many. I ate too many.
They don't fit in my suit.
I don't feel good, and there's a lot of lights in here.
Well, and Robin even says, like, you know, I want a car. The chicks dig the car.
Oh, God. Chris O'Donnell. Like, immediately you just want to punch him.
Yeah, I thought he looked better in this one than he did in the last one.
Oh, but what do you mean looked better?
I don't know, like he matured a little bit. Maybe they
Really?
fixed his teeth.
Really?
I couldn't put my finger on it.
You mean the 32-year-old man boy
Yeah.
looks more mature?
Starting to look like a real adult now that he's 41.
Right. How old's that guy? 18 now.
Yeah.
Well, he grew up.
I think he's only in his mid-20s here, but still,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so Batman drives off, and, like, Robin hits a button, and his fucking bike slowly shows up. So not only has this emergency waited for cocks and butts and the slowest garage door opener of all time, essentially, you got to do the process all over again.
Yeah, he's got
Hold on, crime. I've got a really slow garage door opener.
Well, no, the Robin bike comes out of like a neon taco.
Right.
It has its own holder with neon. Yeah.
Behold the Robin bike.
Like, after the first time, you're like, just park it outside. I don't even want to watch this taco open up
Even if
anymore.
we weren't in a hurry, I'd be bored with this.
Yeah, after you see it twice, you're like, no, thank you.
All right, so they're on their way to the Gotham Museum where Mr. Freeze has already started his crime business, whatever. He's gone into the Gotham Art Museum so that he can steal a giant diamond so that he can power his freeze suit with diamonds.
Yeah, man.
That's how it works.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend in sciences as well.
Okay.
Diamonds are...
Inert?
I love them.
They're just sand.
They're inert.
Right.
They don't have any magic.
No,
or
there's
electricity. They don't work as batteries.
Nope. Okay. Whatever, science. But my problem with this is he's only there for this big ass diamond, this like ludicrous, stupid size.
The Pink Panther is like a bitch diamond compared to this thing.
He's frozen the entire museum. There's ice everywhere. There's icicles. There's like stalactites and stalagmites of ice. He's been there for a while. What you been doing?
Not the one thing he's here to do.
Right.
I thought he gave the museum an upgrade. Like they could have a snow festival in there for the next 3 weeks while
Right.
it unthaws if they don't run the here.
Uh-huh.
And, because you wouldn't want a kid killed by a stalactite,
Sure.
falling from the ceiling and spearing somebody. But, it was all prehistoric looking in there. They had a dinosaur.
Uh-huh.
I was like, dude, this is the point where you invite the rich folk and you're like, look at what this fucker did to the museum.
Yes.
We need the money.
We need donations. We'll have a festival. You can stare at a Monet while your child uses our ice sled luge ride. The stairs. Double dipping.
Yeah, it's one Ben Stiller short of a wild ride.
Until they all come alive at night.
Yeah. No, this is a shit museum. Like, what museum has a giant diamond next to a fake dinosaur?
Right.
Piece of shit.
Gotham doesn't really have the funds. And they're investing, obviously, in a telescope, which we find out later, not in their museum.
Right. Well, somebody is. Either way, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. He's freezing dudes, freezing guards. Then Batman comes in. He's fucking Bart Simpson. He busts through the window and slides down the Brontosaurus's back, kicking Mr. Freeze in the chest, and then saying, "Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman."
Yeah.
Clooney.
And he falls down after he kicks him. He
Right.
doesn't even kick him over. He kicks himself over.
It's the worst entry ever.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty
Is
sure.
it?
Well,
Because
okay.
then Chris O'Donnell comes in and he's like, "Cowabunga, dude!"
Oh God.
and then
he's
he's on
worse.
some weird skateboard thing. I'm like, "Where the hell did you get that?"
Ugh.
And he's like, "Yeah!" And then he slides his way over, like, "I'm gonna get some bad guys."
Yeah, he slides up to Mr. Freeze, kicks the gun out of his freeze ray out of his hand that lands up on top of the dinosaur. They all get into shenanigans. Mr. Freeze got goons who are an ice skating hockey team.
And their codpieces have little skulls on them.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
They've got little penis heads.
Oh no.
Little angry skull penises. And they play hockey. Which I think hockey was really big right here because this is post MLB's real bad strike
Okay.
that hockey got huge off of.
Uh-huh.
And so they're doing that. Everybody loves hockey. Here it is.
And dicks.
it's-
Pay
But
attention.
it's Schumacher's version of hockey,
Right.
which would involve penises.
Yeah, these guys look stupid.
That's awful. And then Batman and Robin get knocked over, but they look over at each other while they're laying on their backs, and they do a fucking no place like home heel click, and fucking ice skates shoot out of their boots.
Yeah, they're ready to play hockey.
They've got ice skate boots.
And they can ice skate.
Are they always wearing ice skate boots, or did they know that they were going to need special ice skate boots today?
Here's the deal. You click in the back, you get the ice skates. You click in the front, you get the roller skates. And if you click in the middle, you get the heel skate.
Okay. And if you twist it, you can use it as a phone?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you tap the knee, it's rockets. And if something goes wrong, your feet actually just blow off and you have stumps after the knee. And someone's got an ice state stuck in their head.
If you've got a shoe phone, do you get like solicitors calling you ever? I don't want to sign up for health care.
Yeah.
I took my shoe off for
You
this.
take your shoe off and they ask you to talk to the owner. I'm like, the owner of my shoe? That's me. I am the Do you realize you're calling me on a shoe phone right now?
We're just wondering if you're happy with your merchant services. You're on a shoe.
Yeah. Oh, well, can I talk to who is in charge of your billing? Of my shoe?
You can talk to who's in charge of my socks, too.
Oh.
You're like the underwear's in a skid run. You can't come to the phone.
Boo.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
And gross. Okay, so they beat up all the hockey guys. And Freeze gets away with the diamond, essentially. The hockey team is chip-shotted it over to him, and he's got this giant diamond. So he apparently, I guess he got there in his Freeze car, because it's there.
Yeah.
Like, crashed inside at some point.
It's kind of like a van
Right.
with spikes.
Yeah.
And
One
it's
man
got
van.
a freeze ray, too.
Right, of course.
And a spaceship?
And a spaceship.
And a fucking rocket in the back.
Like he just sits down and then all of a sudden he's in a rocket?
He's in a fucking rocket. And, like, it's a spaceship. It's not like a missile that we're talking about. He's got a fucking... Where's he going?
So this is what happens next. He gets into this rocket, and then Batman chases him into the rocket, and Robin uses bat suction cups to stick to the side of the rocket.
Sure.
And the rocket takes off.
Uh-huh.
Once the rocket's accelerating into the stratosphere, Freeze demonstrates some poor knowledge of science and altitudes.
Correct.
Then he's like, in the icy depths of space, you will die. And then he jumps out.
Correct.
So Batman and Robin jumped into the missile to chase him, and he was like, I'm only shooting this into space to kill you. And they go, oh, we shouldn't have got in this.
Right. What's he doing? What's his plan?
No, he's going to shoot them into space, but he can't do it unless they chase him.
But then why is the thing rigged to blow? Like he's
It wasn't.
Like,
They destructed it.
he's like, this thing. Once you die, Batman, it's going to make a crater out of. Why am I French now?
Yeah.
Out of. Oui, mucho crater.
No, yeah, he's like, this is going to blow up. And Batman's like, that'll kill thousands. And you're like,
What?
no, it won't.
It'll kill
Is this like an airplane
you.
turd?
Not
Because
to
I
me-
don't think that it's going to do anything.
No.
It's going to disintegrate.
Plus, they blow it up to get out of it. Did thousands die?
I'm gonna make a crater out of Gotham City with this thing.
It's not going to work.
It's not gonna do anything.
Even in the
It might not even kill Batman.
It won't unless it makes it to the icy depths of space.
Correct.
Which at that point, it can't blow up and kill anyone.
Why did you build this? This is the dumbest death machine of all time.
No.
Like,
And how many exit doors does this thing have?
3.
correct.
Because
right.
he jumps out of one. They don't even jump out of the one that he already jumped out of because they need to use the exit doors as surfboards.
Right. Yeah, so they attach a bat bomb to it, blow it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill anybody. And then they surf these fucking doors down to where Mr. Freeze is falling with his freeze wings.
He's got freeze wings that aren't big enough to hold up a bee.
They have holes in them too.
They don't even make
The
sense.
spotlights.
Yeah.
And the Batman rips them off anyway, and it's like, well, I'll just slow myself down with my freeze ray.
Yeah, he uses...
Why would you even have wings if that's the case?
It sucks so bad. this
Meanwhile,
sequence.
Robin is yelling cowabunga
Yeah.
Again.
And
Because-
surfing the buildings of Gotham.
in case we forgot how much we liked Bart Simpson.
Right.
Like, this movie has already said, don't worry, Bart Simpson's in here too. You don't have to worry about missing 10 seconds of Bart Simpson by being at this movie.
I still like The Simpsons, speaking of
It's
which.
a good show.
How long has it been on the air now?
27 years or something like
Yeah.
that.
You're making it seem like that's a weird thing. Dude, everybody likes The Simpsons. still.
30 years maybe?
Well, I think it's the longest running TV show ever, isn't it?
No.
it is.
No, Meet the Press. If you want to,
drama.
if we want to go,
Not a new show.
sure. If we're gonna clarify, a 30-minute TV
Sure.
show. It's
And
the
if-
longest of that.
If you want to get real serious, Sabato Gigante has gone longer than
Right.
Meet the Press even.
Right.
But they only go once a week.
Not The Young and the Restless?
No.
dude. Meet the Press is like fucking 65 years or some shit.
And then The Simpsons just did episode count. But content-wise, because Gunsmoke was an hour long, The Simpsons basically has to double Gunsmoke to actually reach the hour count. Gunsmoke's hour count is ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
I'd rather talk about it.
I'd so much rather talk about Gunsmoke.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, bruh.
James Arness
Like
never
my
said
nerps.
cowabunga.
Fuck.
Just said, you're going to jail, mister.
Ching,
And then
ching,
sometimes you just shot the guy.
I'll see you out on the street at high noon, Sheriff, Marshal. I'll see you on the dead street,
Yep.
bad guy.
You know what would really suck is if you had the disadvantage of having to look towards the sun in that fight.
During high noon?
Yeah.
That's why you do it at high noon.
Straight
the sun
up.
is directly above you.
If you're
Oh, shit.
I can't see shit.
stop looking straight up, dick it. You know what? Keep doing that. I'm going to shoot you.
You can only have gunfights during solar eclipses.
My eyes. Again, with the looking at the sun. You're supposed to shoot
Donald
me.
Trump would lose every. I think Donald Trump's going to lose every gunfight, no matter what, right?
'Cause he brings a cheeseburger and a golf club and a hat. I don't know anything about the president other than cheeseburgers and golf clubs.
Oh, I think you know more than that.
He's not my president. I just want to say that out loud.
Okay.
The dog is your president.
Yeah. Charmin toilet paper's looking pretty good, though, at this point.
There's got to be a movie where a dog is the president. There
Oh, I'm
has
sure.
to be.
Well, there's Hail to the Chimp.
Okay.
That's a chimpanzee.
The monkey
that's-
was the president?
I think so.
Okay, why have we not done that movie?
I don't know.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. It might actually just be a joke on The Simpsons. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But if it's not, it's a real movie. And then there was chairman of the board with the chimpanzee and Carrot Top.
With Carrot Top, that's an
Which is
animal.
why we haven't done that
Right.
movie.
Okay, we have to finish this. So they all land somehow. Robin's like, "Don't worry, Batman. I'll stop Mr. Freeze with my plan of
With my running
what?
at him.
Yeah, by running at him. Like, that's gonna switch it up on him a little bit." So Mr. Freeze just fucking freezes Robin and is like, "Ha ha ha, Batman, your partner is stupid."
Did you see him in Scent of a Woman? He was terrible. Even with Pacino there. He's awful.
Hooah! What is that even?
Yeah. He's driving a car blind. No. No.
People like that movie.
Yeah. Didn't he get nominated
I
for an
think
Oscar
so.
or some bullshit like that?
I've never seen it.
I'm not out of order. You're out of order.
No, you're all out of order.
You're all out
Fucking
of order.
ridiculous.
You know what? You're in contempt of court, mister.
You're in contempt of existence right now with this bullshit.
Bailiff, take him away.
Yeah. Shoot him into space. I believe Mr. Freeze has a rocket specifically
Excuse me,
for
Mr.
that.
Freeze. Can we borrow your space
Yeah.
rocket? So he just is like, I've delayed you. Like, you can't catch me now because you've only got 11 minutes to save your partner. So I'll just walk out of this hole in the building.
Yeah.
Like, Batman's like, my God, he's right. I can't stop him.
Well, not to mention he's like, you only have 11 minutes plus I'm going to make an impenetrable icy barrier that you have nothing to, get through it with.
Right.
Just in case.
And like, conveniently, I don't even know what this room is that they're in. There's a big puddle or pool of is it water?
It's like they ended up in an underground bathhouse or something. I'm not sure.
Because he sticks Robin in it and then shoots the water with a laser and that thaws him out.
Turns it into a hot tub.
I don't get it.
I want to know why he thawed him.
Yeah, like,
He's like, thanks, Mr. Freeze. That little fucker was eating me out of house and home.
you just put him up on the mantle like decoration.
Yeah.
I could have saved him, but
There's this moment where Mr. Freeze's eyes go blank when he realizes, oh, I haven't given you a choice at all, have I? You were coming right after me, and I just did you a favor. Oh, God.
So he gets away, but Robin gets freed from the ice. We cut to Poison Ivy. What's her non-Poison Ivy name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Pam Isley?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Something like that.
I'm not a big Poison Ivy fan.
No. Was she?
Comics.
She was in the comics.
Yeah. Oh,
She
yeah.
wasn't,
Oh, yeah. She's back in, I think, the late episodes of Adam West even had Poison Ivy in.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an old ringer. Her and Calendar Man, palling around. You know who I was thinking when we cut here? that was kind of surprisingly we never got in a movie is Killer Croc. We never see Killer Croc in a Batman movie.
No.
You could do like a mutated guy, like Nolan totally could have done. Not mutated, but like he had an accident. He's just scaly and leathery looking. But so he goes like by Killer Croc. He doesn't actually have to be a crocodile.
It's interesting because they didn't do any of the
Zaz?
the Spider-Man has a croc.
The lizard.
The lizard, right?
Right.
And that never made it into the movies either. It was like both studios danced around those characters. Like, well, we don't want to do this because Spider-Man might, maybe, because both the cartoons did.
Right.
Spider-Man and Batman,
Right.
they both use both of them.
Right, yeah. Anyways, so she's pre-Poison Ivy origin. She's a research assistant. What's her deal?
She's a
She's a scientist that has a snake hooked up to some IVs on both fangs. That's supposed to be sucking the venom out of him.
Okay.
But she's pissed because Dr. Wacko in the next room keeps taking her venom.
What's she doing though?
She's supposed to be making plants. Well, she's trying to make plants that attack animals.
Why would you do such a thing?
Will attack people so that they can protect their environment.
Because she's really into nature.
She's a fucking whack job.
Right, but why wouldn't she make, like, hey, let's do this. Make them harder to be killed by man. Like, try that.
No, she just wants them to kill people.
Right, so she doesn't care about plants at all. She just wants murder.
Well, she likes the plants enough that she wants them to be alive when we're all dead.
Yeah, sure.
But she wants us all dead more.
I think it's more like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's a temporary alliance. She doesn't give a fuck about those plants. She just wants to murder everybody. Then once everybody's dead, she's gonna be like, well, I'm out of murdering. Time to die, plants. I know that the character is supposed to be, plant lady, but in this context, just make it so the plants can't be killed by man.
Her end game is her and dirt.
Yeah.
So I think she's trying to make the ultimate eggplant.
Oh,
if you know what I mean?
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge,
right.
nudge.
She's putting together a swamp man, swamp thing. Yeah, her and old.
Yep. 45-degree
Ray
angle.
Wise are gonna hook up, and where's that plant going?
Yep. I don't know about these emojis, but real eggplants are not very good to eat.
Okay. So she goes out into the mad scientist hallway, who is like, I am making the super soldier serum. He literally says the super soldier serum. What the fuck? You can't do that.
I didn't look up who this guy was intentionally because he looks sort of like Michael Bay.
I kind of think he looks like Trace Bellew when he's in full regalia.
Oh,
as one of the Mads.
sure.
Right.
He's somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But dude, super soldier serum. I mean, come on.
Out of snake venom.
Come on.
He's like, look, I'm going to put this venom in a guy.
I'm going to make Captain America here.
And he dies.
Right. He's making Bane is what he's doing. We'll just cut to the chase here.
And you get the small, skinny dude.
Who is played by wrestler Jeep Svensson.
Who's that?
He died like 2 months after the release of this film, so he never really got to be a big deal.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah.
He was a big dude. I almost thought it was like a blow-up costume.
I think there's a little of both.
Phony muscles. Bane sucks in this. I'll be honest.
They make him so stupid.
I'm not a big fan of Bane in The Dark Knight Rises either, but
It's better than this.
It's better than this. This is awful.
I find the Winston Churchill business in the new one kind of fun
I
for
think
the wrong
it's
reasons.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I only are. I'm like, wait a second. He's doing Winston Churchill. And he thinks I'm not going to notice, but I'm noticing, and I like it. But I don't really like this movie that much.
yeah, I mean, the first time I've ever seen Bane, was in the one that you guys are talking
Right,
about.
Dark Knight Rises.
With Captain Handsome that plays Bane, Tom Hardy.
Right.
But then this guy, he's an idiot.
Right, which
he's a
is
mindless,
fine.
weird thing that you hit the button on his chest to activate him like he's a Price is Right I'd like to guess $5 million, Bob.
I'll take $5,001, Bob. And then that person is like, oh, you dirty bastard.
Yeah, you're stupid. Well, look at the brass ones on this lady.
$1 more, you fucker.
God, really? Fuck. But yeah, this is the only time Bane's mindless in any incarnation. Because even in the comic, he's noted as being militarily one of the most brilliant strategists in the DC universe.
In the Batman Arkham Knight game series, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like arguably better than the Joker. The Joker's a little silly. Other than Mark Hamill's Mark Hamill, dude. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But Bane's pretty cool in the Arkham Knight series as well. So, but yeah, no, this just sucks. He's a cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, and he sucks because he's so secondary to two characters that he's so much better than.
Right,
Freeze
exactly.
is okay.
Freeze is
here and
okay.
there, but he's no Bane.
Yeah. Anyways, so the mad scientist is like, okay, we've made Bane. I'm going to leave the room now. You guys have fun with him because he's selling the super soldier to the evil world leaders. You know, you've got Mustafa there and Idi Amin and Pineapple Face.
Yeah, there's this rogues gallery of America's enemies.
I think I saw Oliver North there, you know.
They have an on-phone bidder.
Oliver North is
He's using his shoe.
He's bidding from prison.
Right.
They gave him an internet connection.
Right now he'd be bidding from Fox News.
Ollie.
Yep, he's a commentator. Him and Fabio.
You gotta make some cash, I guess.
Experts. So he goes in and he's like, hey, you want to be on this team, Poison Ivy, before you're Poison Ivy? And she's like, your teeth are gross. And she's like, okay. Or he's like, all right, well, how about you be on this dick too? And she's like, no. And so he's like, okay, well, how about I kill you? And she's like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So she's dead.
Pushes her down and she dies.
Right. Yep.
She gets some chemicals on her, though, so she'll be back as a superhero.
Yeah, she fell into the poison stuff, right? The venom?
Her own research.
Right.
Yeah. Because I know, if there's one thing I know about snakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you've got them hooked up with IVs on their fangs, and we only see the one snake, right, that has this.
Right.
That snake is producing quite a bit of venom if they've got, 10-gallon buckets of venom that they're using for these experiments. That poor fucking snake, he's like veal.
You know, I've actually was in biology for a while. We dissected a snake, and the venom gland is like the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
It just gets
it's
bigger?
actually, there's 10 gallons of venom in every snake, even though the snake can't displace more than about 14 ounces.
I was always under the understanding that the white snakes have the most fluids.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Cocky
dance on their
videos.
cars.
Right.
Oh, no.
Tawny Contain would know. Gwendolyn. After some Bruce Wayne flashing back to being Bruce Wayne.
Being
whatever.
Lord Fauntleroy
Right,
falling down.
yeah.
Wait, this is the shittiest young Bruce Wayne.
Right, indeed.
Ever.
Absolutely.
He stinks.
He's a buffoon.
Yeah.
She rises out of the death spot where she fell, and now she's got the sexy.
Yep.
The venom power also made her sexy.
She's hubba hubba.
Gave her red hair.
Yeah. Dude, her red hair sucks. Her hair sucks throughout this thing.
Well, she looks like, dance. Anybody want to dance?
You think she looks like a stripper?
She looks like Starla.
Like an old stripper?
Yeah.
What's the story here with her hair? They make her have at some point she's got transistors out of her hair on top of her head, she could be connected to power lines.
I'm gonna guess. My guess with her hair is that everybody else had so much going on, that they just were trying shit, because they didn't really want to do much with her costume, and they were right. What they really needed to do is just make it tight on her because she's got all of the stuff.
Yeah, no,
that people want to look at.
Made Uma Thurman not sexy.
Yeah.
She's supposed to, because it's kind of the same concept as Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer's a gorgeous woman, and you made the sexy not sexy by over-sexing it up. How do you fuck up Uma Thurman?
It's difficult.
Well, she has 3 separate costumes. in this movie.
And nipples. No, I'm just kidding about that. part.
If they would have just left her in the first one that we see her in, right, which is the traditional poison ivy costume,
Kind of, yeah.
with the little leaves and everything, right?
Right,
That's
right.
that's how I always visioned
Yeah,
her.
right.
That would have been great. That looked really, really good on her.
You know, in the Arkham Knight series again, which is a little bit more like modern, it's supposed to be reality based. You know, it's a little less 1960s Batman. She just wears jeans and a green T-shirt, and it's hot.
She's cool in the Batman
Oh yeah.
cartoon. That takes a lot of liberties, but is a really good time. It's her character because she's rides that fence of you kind of want to get on her side half of the time,
Right.
But at the same time, she's psychotic and murderous.
Right. Yeah. No. She's not hot or intimidating in this movie at all, and it's Uma fucking Thurman. Hot.
They
What?
also put like a weird bra on under her tights
Yep.
a couple times, and you're like, that's the last thing you needed to do.
I think they taped him down too.
Yeah, they made him small. It's like,
Right.
all you do is just put her in some tight stuff, and the rest works itself out.
Right.
It almost looked like she had some kind of restrictive corset on
Yeah.
Exactly.
that was trying to pull her in and make her look smaller. And
She doesn't need to do that. Just put her in tights and call it good.
yeah, dude, let those babies flop.
I don't know. Maybe Joel Schumacher's not the decision maker of what.
Well, you
this
don't.
is.
I mean, on a production like this, you probably got fucking 45 people
Making that
in
decision,
costume
yeah.
department, right?
Ugh. Anyway, so she's like, "Hey, I'm hot," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you are, boobies." And so she kisses him and kills him because she's got poison face.
Yep.
He's
he does
dead.
he does a bad job dying.
Then she finds a beaker with Wayne Enterprises logo on it, and she's like, "Oh, now I see what my next move is." What?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
Because they removed the funding because
No.
that guy next door was a wacko.
Well, but she thinks that Wayne's in charge of the super soldiers, so she's gonna kill him.
I guess it's a reach.
Do the guys ever leave that room?
I don't think so. I think Bane breaks all of their backs and then says, "World leader."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what I want to know is, if you love plants so much, why the fuck are you lighting everything on fire, you
she
crazy
she
bitch?
burns this place down.
No, it doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense. She does not make sense. Meanwhile, Mr. Freeze is hanging out with his henchmen, and he's like, "Oh yes, eat the frozen dinner. I bought those for you in the frozen food section. They're healthy."
This is supposed to be so funny
Right.
because they're trying to eat the frozen dinners, but they're still frozen.
Right.
But they're also still packaged.
Correct.
Like they're trying to eat the cardboard and the cellophane.
You
too.
eat the whole tray.
Yeah.
I paid good money.
Like, why take them out of the box if you're going to just eat the box too?
And they're watching The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Right.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
Do you like Schwaz's bathrobe?
Oh man, I love it.
I liked his little bolo tie thing.
Oh, the ascot.
The ascot, yeah,
Yeah.
with the gray big diamond.
If there's one thing if I know about Mr. Freeze, he knows how to chill.
So, Schwaz made 27 cold puns.
Cold puns, 27 of
27.
them. Oh,
You
man.
thought that 28 was a good idea.
Cool party. That was the one I always remembered. It's so dumb.
Yep.
He says something else like something of, oh yeah, always remember to winterize your pipes.
Yeah. All right, everybody, freeze.
Yeah, well, that one is at least
Yeah.
clear context, but he always remember to winterize your pipes. Like he's giving us a top tip.
Yes.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Freeze.
'Cause
He cares about you.
And why isn't he Dr. Freeze?
He should be Dr. Freeze, not Mr. Freeze. When we find out more about his background, right?
Right.
Sure.
This guy's a fucking brilliant ass
No,
scientist
he's like the top in the world.
who's going to cure murder disease.
McGregor syndrome.
McGregor.
Is that a real thing?
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
you turn into a tennis racket. Justin said we were watching it. What happens? You can get some golf clubs that aren't that good.
right. Which time does he have left before he turns into a polo cap? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, those cleats will probably only last one season.
My God, we need a cure. No, there's no McGregor syndrome. I don't even know what happens with McGregor syndrome because, well, spoiler alert, Alfred gets this as well, the butler.
You
and you
get
just
dead.
get sleepy, I guess.
Yeah, you die from it.
Yeah.
And then if you get sort of cryogenically preserved, you'll be all right.
She's in a back-to tank. Let's be honest.
His wife is in a back-to-tank.
Yeah, if you get beat up by a wampa, you go to here.
Uh-huh.
She's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
No, Elle McPherson.
Right.
No.
That's why Clooney was all over that.
I bet he did bang that.
Oh, totally.
You know, I'm pretty sure that any woman who met him was just like, hello, your place?
Who, Clooney?
Yeah.
Or Schwaz?
No, Schwaz married Schwaz. No, yeah. These women are all over me.
God damn it!
It's like, no, they're not. You're right.
Just the maid.
Just the maid.
So he's going to freeze the entire city and then ransom it so that he can fund his research to save his wife's life.
Yep.
Why don't...
I'm pretty sure you got a huge ass payout when you fell into that vat of icy shit because there was no safety bar there.
Why doesn't he just sell the diamond?
Well, he needs the diamonds to make the freeze engine to save his wife.
The freeze engine.
Yeah.
What freeze engine?
The freeze engine.
I thought
looks
he
like
needed
one of those-
diamonds to power his suit.
Yeah,
Well,
but he
no,
also
but he-
has that, like, giant double-sided dildo staff.
Yeah, it looks like a
But that's all
boombox
to
kind
fight
of.
Batman stuff.
No,
Like,
he's going to use that to save his wife.
Dude,
After he freezes the whole city.
Yeah.
wow.
It's
Business.
The freeze engine.
It's going to cure McGregor's syndrome because that's not what happens at the end. He
Yeah.
cures McGregor's syndrome and he doesn't give anybody a diamond.
Well, he already know how to cure it in stage 1. He just can't cure it in stage 4.
So you go from liquid goo in stage 1 is the cure to a diamond? What do you do with the diamond? Shove it up your ass?
You make the freeze engine?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how you cure AIDS. You inject money directly into yourself.
Yeah.
What does he say? I'm going to shove my arm so far up your ass, I'm going to touch your spine.
What is that one from?
I can't remember.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bennett.
Screw you, Benny! That's,
Or no, Bennett's from Commando.
Yeah, that's the top some steam, Bennett.
Yeah.
And he's blowing steam out of his organs. Because he's been murdered with a giant pipe.
I love how straight-faced you explain that because, well, you see.
Yeah, it's definitely, liver and part of his bowels are expanded into steam and shot out the pipe, and that's how he's been killed.
Okay, whatever.
I think that Schwaz just makes up his own one-liners for movies, and he's like, I'm putting this in here, and you're not fucking cutting it.
I doubt. I think you're right, too. Every time I watch a movie
gotta love
commentary
it.
with him, he is so funny.
He's just got to, I can't wait to tell this one.
Yeah, like I have a hard time not loving Arnold Schwarzenegger listening to him on movie commentaries because he's just a funny guy.
You have a hard time not loving him? Like you were like, today's the day I'm going to not love. I'm really going to try to not love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm going to do that.
Like maybe 4 people have said that ever.
I think he's pretty cool.
Dude, he's the guy.
My mom is absolutely in love with him.
I don't give a shit about how bad he fucked up California. It's really not that bad.
Hey, he got all of his friends to do those Come to California commercials.
Right. He's doing awesome things as far as the gerrymandering shit, dude. That guy's the boss.
Yeah.
Schwaz is A-okay in my book. Plus, not to mention, Maria Shriver's kind of a bitch.
If my mom wanted to marry Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I'm sure she does,
You'd be like, Dad, take a hike, Buster.
I would probably help her push my dad off the cliff.
What? Dude, that's too
sucks.
far.
You don't
That's too
need to kill
far.
him. Just give him an apartment and some TV dinners.
Yeah, here's a Corvette, buddy. Go to town. Gonna have a Corvette and an earring. You're now related to Schwaz in a roundabout way.
Huh.
Anyways, I don't think we're gonna get through this movie in an hour and a half. How far ahead do we want to skip, guys? Because we are
Well, so really nothing happened because now we go into like charity phase.
right.
So they're going to spring a trap. And we can kind of skip through this kind of fast. So they're going to trap Freeze by using Bruce Wayne's diamonds.
Right.
Because he needs so many damn diamonds.
Yeah.
And so they throw a fucking party that sucks.
Right, and with Batman and Robin as like PR promoters, they're like they're there with a giant check.
Yeah.
Type shit. Like Batman doesn't do parties. What?
He doesn't.
I mean, I have a problem with the fucking Punisher series where he's up on top of the roof talking to Daredevil. Like, Punisher doesn't have rooftop chats, dude. This shit sucks. He kills people. But it's even more, Batman does not have charity events.
Well, and he especially doesn't go
Yeah.
to charity events where you're auctioning off young ladies as flowers.
Right?
Deflowering these young ladies for,
okay.
bidding. And they'll get to wear the necklace while you fuck the shit out of them.
Right.
That's what that necklace is doing there. Bid on one of these ladies, the highest auction bid lady, you get to fuck her with this necklace. The other 3 ladies, you just get to fuck.
Right. And so that makes a perfect scenario for Poison Ivy to make her debut because she's all flowery, right? She's a vegetable lady. And they're like, she's got like a charm power. She's got pheromones that she just seduces the entire audience, including Batman and Robin. And they're like, we're going to bid more for her butt.
Okay, so I got a question. I'm
Sure.
burning right now. How sexy is it to unreveal yourself from a monkey suit?
Right? She comes in a monkey suit.
It's not even a monkey suit. It's an ape poodle.
It's like one of those fucking weirdos from the Congo. Not like Congo the movie, not the country.
Yeah, it's an ape with poodle hair and it's pink.
It does not make sense. What is this thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, and like Sam said when we were watching the movie, did she pay the DJ? She's like, start my song.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy. Starts playing in the background.
It's like it's part of the show or something.
Right.
Also, isn't this to like benefit the observatory or something? They're going to pay for it this way?
I thought I was going to
I didn't
kids.
What?
It doesn't matter what it is because this thing, people are bidding like $50,000. Like they're not making shit off of this deal.
No.
To fund a telescope that's owned by Wayne Enterprise?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I think they're doing this for the plants. Because he gives her the invitation, right, when Wayne Enterprises donates the telescope originally, right?
Okay.
He gives her an invitation to the soiree for saving the rainforest.
Oh, all right.
Well, I mean, it's ultimately a trap, but they are going to kick some...
Use the money for something good rather than like, well, at least Wayne Enterprise doesn't have to pay for Wayne Enterprise's telescope.
At the same time, though, with the bidding and where the numbers are at, it seems like they're going to make about $75,000 off selling off human traffic.
Right.
And then give that to the rainforest if there's anything left after all of the
Here's
party
your
favors.
giant check, Rainforest.
Yeah.
For $5 after we spent it all on champagne and caviar at this party.
The party was too expensive.
Batman wins the bidding war because he's got a fucking Batman credit card.
They actually don't even close bidding.
You're right.
He just flashes the Batman Forever card. And then the scene just sort of takes its own direction.
Well,
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze comes in.
Yeah.
He's never leave home without it.
Ugh.
It's American Express.
So gross. Mr. Freeze comes in. He starts freezing all the place. They get in a big fight. He gets the diamonds and leaves. But Batman and Robin chase him in cars. Mr. Freeze is in his van, and he's got 2 bros on his side who are in like trucks. And Batman is driving the Batmobile, and Robin's driving the Robin bike, whatever. And they're driving down this arm of the statue that the observatory is attached to.
Except for that the observatory is held in 2 hands, so there's like this other hand.
Arm somehow.
This is not the observatory.
No, it's somewhere else. I don't know.
This one is holding the observatory's bowls.
Right.
This is the free hand for Joel Schumacher's butts.
Yeah. My problem with this whole sequence is that, like, Batman's like, hey, Robin. Well, because he doesn't have a bat voice. I shouldn't even do that. I should be more smarmy. Robin, stop. You're not gonna make it. Robin's on a motorcycle going as fast as the Batmobile. So just by simple physics, if Batman's like, well, this thing that weighs 16 times more than the Bat bike is going at the same exact speed, I'm gonna make it. Robin's gonna fucking make it, dude. If you're gonna make it, he's gonna make it. Not to mention, Mr. Freeze is in a fucking van.
Yeah,
He's in a GMC All-Star.
Like,
his isn't fast at all.
What's going on with the Robin cycle if a van can make this jump but your motorcycle can't? You
No.
might need to tune that thing up.
Yeah.
Ugh. So eventually he cuts the power, makes the jump. Batman does. Mr. Freeze is like, I blew up your car. I froze it.
Yeah.
But Batman jumped out of it and then kicks Mr. Freeze, thus capturing him.
Well, he breaks through the windshield And then they didn't have the footage for that, so they just cut to the end of the fight where he's captured him.
Right.
So, like, the only fight between Freeze and Batman, where it's just mano a mano, doesn't actually happen in the movie.
Never happens.
They didn't have that footage, I guess. So they just cut to the end
It's
of
like
it.
the missing minutes of the Zapruder film.
Well,
Yeah.
he went through the windshield, got stuck. Mr. Freeze was like,
Help.
oh, motherfucker, and just goes out the back of the van and walks away.
And then hits his head on a low-hanging pipe and knocks himself out.
Yeah. Winterize pipes. Oh.
It looks like I let off some steam.
And then Robin shows up on the roof, and what happened? What happened, Batman? And he's like, "Oh, look at my cape! I captured him." Like, 'cause it doesn't look
That's
like
what happened. I did it all.
Why is his head bruised?
Yeah.
So he puts him in Arkham. And his guards, we should mention, are fucking Jesse Ventura and Ralph Moeller.
Yeah.
And if you
So,
don't know who Ralph Moeller is, Jackie, do you know who Ralph Moeller is?
No.
He used to be Mr. Universe right before Schwaz and did a bunch of movies and shit. He was Conan on the Conan the Adventure TV series. So they're pals, I think.
There's also something happens here that no one would go if you were at the theater seeing this. You say, "Hey, 2 of the 3 of these men are going to be governors of states."
Right.
You'd
Yeah,
be
like
"What?
soon.
Wait,
Soon.
what?
I like that they put him in a refrigerator and just ripped off the freezer door.
Yeah, right. It's always good to see Jesse Ventura. That guy's voice is just so fantastic.
It is.
Like, God, what a recognizable, awesome, ridiculous voice.
He's great. Whenever he shows up and stuff, like the X-Files or whatever, he's just fun.
Yeah.
Justin's like, you have to leave the room now, Sam. Jesse Ventura is on TV.
Oh, I don't have a man crush on him. I just think he's, like, underrated. He's fun.
Hear that? He talked about his underwear.
And why are you looking at him like, hey, I'm getting jealous of Jesse Ventura. What the fuck is going on right now?
I will fucking stab that motherfucker.
I'm
you
married
should
to
see
you.
him right now. He's not, like, health-wise, I don't think Ventura is doing very good.
No, that sucks.
He's pretty old, too. So Poison Ivy and Bane they're teamed up now, I guess, and they take over the glow-in-the-dark gang of Gotham's headquarters. So now she's got a place.
Which is whatever, because she can
Why does
just
she need it?
grow her own hideout whenever
Right.
the fuck she wants.
And it's in a Turkish bathhouse.
Right?
And they show that several times, just in case you didn't catch up on it the first time. And I'm not understanding why they bring these glow-in-the-dark guys back, because they try to rape somebody in the last movie.
Right?
And it's not marked. It wasn't DeCascos. It was Don the Dragon Wilson last time.
Yeah.
It wasn't nobody this time around, I think.
No.
No, they try to get her with a dog leash.
Yeah,
Just
glow-in-the-dark chains.
Black
Yeah.
lights were still big.
Yeah.
Oh.
We also never mentioned Alicia Silverstone. We skipped her entrance, but she's up to weird things. She keeps stealing the motorcycles from the Wayne Manor and going out at night. But finally, Robin follows her, and she is part of an underground racing ring.
Sure.
Where Coolio is the money man.
His character name in the movie is The Banker.
The banker. Did Coolio have a line?
No, which is what makes his appearance in this film palatable.
Right.
Yeah, I've never liked Coolio.
Coolio's greatest acting performance to date.
It was when he didn't say anything. He probably had lines, and Schumacher was like, "That's very good," and then turns to the producer and just shakes his head. No, we're going to cut that. We are not letting that happen.
They get in a race, and it eventually leads to them losing because one of the guys had green fire grenades.
Yeah.
Like, he's part of Westeros.
Yeah.
And like, they can't drive through them even though they crash through them and they're not on fire.
So there's a race.
What the hell happens
They
here?
cheat by putting fire on the ground.
Right.
And so they slide and they can't stop. And at the end of the area where the fire was is a dead end off a cliff.
Right.
So had they not thrown the fire,
correct,
everyone would have just driven off the cliff and died anyway.
Indeed. And the fire, they don't, like, they crash through the fire. They don't drive through the fire. If they drove through the fire, they would have gone off the cliff. It doesn't make any goddamn
They
sense.
slide 700 yards at like 6 miles an hour.
You know, and all I can think is your leg is broken.
Right.
You have no skin left because by this point, if the fire hasn't gotten you, then the cheap ass leather that you have on, the pleather that you have on, has been ripped off your body.
She's also wearing a knit sweater.
Yeah, underneath her motorcycle jacket.
Okay, so that's going on. It's not plot relevant in any way. I just want to, like, what the fuck?
So it's supposed to be like, I bet there was a lot more romance between these two before she didn't fit in the costume.
Right, yeah.
And then that all went away or something.
Yeah.
And what's left is this weird scene where they don't even end it. Like, they don't even, like, they just cut away from the end of this thing.
Yeah,
Anyways.
they're hanging there, and then all of a sudden they're back at the Wayne Manor in the motorcycle thing, like parking the bikes. I'm like, no.
What's up? See you later.
Those fucking bikes are gone.
Yeah, they went off the cliff. Anyways, Poison Ivy shows up, breaks Mr. Freeze out, says, I'm on your team now. Let's partner up. And he's like, good idea. And they escape. Batman and Robin break into Mr. Freeze's hideout. Well, the cops are there. I don't know how this all shakes out.
4-star General Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, Commissioner Gordon in this movie sucks so bad.
He is awesome because he says things and then walks off screen without warning every time. And that's what happens in this scene. He says, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and then just wanders off. They decide to go.
Maybe time for retirement, Commissioner Gordon.
Look around, yeah.
Getting a little long in the tooth, buddy.
Retire. He just got his 4th star.
He's sundowning.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So they find Freeze's wife. He's underneath. He went back there as well to get more diamonds because he's weak.
Sure.
To power up his suit. And he's like, oh, no, they're taking my wife. You get my wife, Poison Ivy. I'm going to get my diamonds, and we'll meet back up and do crime.
How is she? That tank isn't going anywhere.
No. Like, get
It's
my wife.
It's going to be a whole thing.
Like, what do you want me to
How
do, bro?
I do that?
Use my teleportation powers?
Maybe Bane was supposed to, like, pack it on his back.
Yeah, but then she's going to die. She's not connected to anything that keeps her alive.
If anybody was able to do it, it would be Poison Ivy. She could, like, get a big plant thing to, like, suck her up with the Bacta fluid in it.
Yeah.
And then go underground and go somewhere else. Like,
Yeah,
if there was anyone that could do it, her, but she didn't even try.
No, she didn't even try. She's like, hey, I don't do well with competition. Oh, I killed your wife, Mr. Freeze. She doesn't tell him that. She's like, Batman killed your wife, but even though I did it.
Well, she's also planning on repopulating the Earth with him.
Right.
But I don't think his balls still work because he's a frozen guy.
He's a frozen man. Yeah, they hatched this plan because now he's like, my dead wife. Let's freeze the entire planet, and then we'll be the only 2 people on it. Shh, don't tell Bane. And the plants will take over,
I guess.
And then she kisses a tulip that has a snake face.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there's
fangs.
a snake tulip.
I bet she took that thing home.
So
I
now
would have.
She's a gene splicer? Like, it's part snake, part plant, which means it's not planty anymore, lady. It's more animal than plant.
Yeah.
Which means you don't love plants all the way. This whole just plants are the awesome. You just want murder. I'm telling you.
Well, now we know where Seymour comes from.
Yeah, right.
So what happens when you mix a carrot with a rabbit? Is it going to eat itself?
Ooh, yeah. Butt first. Start with the best part.
That is the best part of a rabbit.
It is, actually.
That's gross that you
It's
know that.
buns hole. It's hindquarters. Alfred's got the McGregor. There's a bunch of shit going on with that.
Clan McGregor?
Yeah.
Or the shitty golf clubs.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
Well, Alfred's going to finally teach those Brits a fucking lesson.
Yeah.
You know?
Got the cricket spikes, but they're not going to last more than a season.
McGregor, I was going with the whole Braveheart type thing.
Sure.
You know?
Oh.
Scottish rebellions. Anyways, Poison Ivy steals the bat signal because she's got Robin charmed. She's going to charm him over to her pad underneath the city. And
At the Turkish bathhouse.
at the Turkish bathhouse that's underneath the city, that's got now the bat signal attached to it and a Robin signal. He's
Sure.
like, hey, Poison Ivy's calling me, and Batman's like, oh God, you're such a dipshit. Yeah, go have a good time. We're gonna hatch a plan though. I have to convince you. She's like, hey, big boy. He's like, hey, big baby. And she's like, kiss me. And he's like, I can't. I already came.
Yeah.
It's
going to be coming out of the neck of my suit soon because this is really tight.
This is not a good suit to have premature ejaculation in.
It might hit myself in the eye. Yep.
She
mayonnaise
kisses
on
him.
your collar. No, I don't. It's not mayonnaise.
It's right.
Sure, I went to Burger King.
Mayonnaise. Yeah, right. She kisses him, but he's got rubber lips on.
He's got lip condoms to save himself, which is like, oh yeah, he doesn't swallow the poison and fucking die.
Right.
Duh.
Rubber lips.
I liked it.
Oh, it's so dumb. So they fight, sort of. She just knocks him over. Batman comes in and gets planted, like he's trapped by plants. And then Batgirl comes in. At least Silverstone figured things out. We skipped over that as well because who fucking cares? Even though it's really stupid, she opens up Alfred's computer and sees the bat symbol, so now she knows everything. And like she just walks into the Batcave. Alfred has gone into Mac's headroom. He programmed himself, his AI, like he's fucking Tony Stark. I've programmed my consciousness into the Bat computer. And by the way, I took the liberty of making you a bat bike and a bat suit because why not?
Hey,
child?
security has gotten much better in this place, though. I mean, in the last movie, if you went down there and it said intruder alert, everything would just open up. At least with this one, nothing, like the car doesn't come out of the ground and the bat suits don't all open up. Like, help yourself,
I think it's worse because there's not even a notification. It's just, here, I made you something.
Well, there's some lasers like at the beginning of the, Bulls warm up to like Gary Glitter. Oh no,
the Chicago Bulls.
No, the Chicago Bulls was when they were still doing Parsons Project.
Okay, right.
No, that's not it either. Either way, Max Headroom just lets her in.
Right? It's so
like
stupid.
anybody that in these movies, whoever makes it to the Batcave, just gets to do whatever.
They get to be part of the team
or blow it up.
Whatevs, man.
There is no
we've
security.
Got plenty of Batcaves to choose from. Have a good time in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So she busts in, beats up Poison Ivy, kicks her into her plant bed.
Yeah.
And I guess that means she's done for?
The end of her.
What
she
the
gets
fuck?
stuck.
She's just stuck? I'm stuck in my
Even
bed?
though she can control plants.
And she had just made it reveal herself.
Right. The fuck happened?
They didn't have anywhere to go with this, so they just cut to something else.
I guess. Oh my god. Freeze has taken over the telescope. He's connected it to all the diamonds. He's freezing the city.
Do that.
Right. You can do. Wait, which part of this do you have a problem with?
All of it.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't the telescope not do anything?
Shoot diamond lasers that are freeze rays.
It brings the images in, not out.
Well, and it's just a big mirror. That's all that's in there. It's just a big fucking mirror. How does that make your freeze gun get bigger?
Science.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's starting to freeze the city. That means that Batman's only got 11 minutes before the people of Gotham are permanently frozen to death.
Everybody's 11 minutes all the time.
Right. Well, it's just the science behind Mr. Freeze.
Sure.
Including the dog that's trying to pee on the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
The entire city is frozen.
Right.
He's not going to do it in 11 minutes.
No.
Nothing's going to happen.
He's going to start with the rich neighborhoods and work his way down.
Oh, man. It's take forever.
You know what could thaw out a city fast enough? 3 hot butts.
Yeah, 3 hot butts show up for sure.
Yeah.
Team Bat has arrived. Batman's driving a rocket skateboard. Robin's got a snowmobile.
Yeah.
and she's got a motorcycle.
She's on ice in a motorcycle because they ran out of shit.
Right.
They're in those bayou boats.
Oh yeah, no, he's got
They're in
fan
bayou.
boat. A
Yeah,
fan boat.
they're in bayou boats.
It's like
Bayou boat. It's called a fan boat, Jackie.
but it's not even that. It's like
Bayou.
the front of a snowmobile, the middle of a hovercraft, and then a fan boat end. That thing makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And then she's just got a normal motorcycle.
With fat wheels.
What the fuck is going on here? It doesn't even have like spikes on its tires or anything. It's not ice related.
No.
Well, I mean, come on. She gets thrown off of it. It keeps upright and keeps going. She jumps onto the bayou machine with Robin and then jumps back on the motorcycle.
That has not crashed while not having a person driving it.
Yep.
Good bike.
On ice. Not to mention,
Her hot butt has thawed all this ice out.
they have just beat up Poison Ivy. The city is starting to be frozen, and they at one point have stopped back at the Batcave to not only grab new vehicles so they can make a big interest, but new suits as well. They're wearing different bat suits.
Yeah, they have the new.
They changed.
The new reveal of the Team Bat 3 suits.
Hurry, Robin. We've got to stop Mr. Freeze from freezing the city. We've only got 11 minutes. But don't we need to stop and change into our cool clothes?
Yeah.
Good point, Robin.
Did you wonder why Batman didn't have a lot of fighting in this scene?
Because he couldn't move, I'm guessing.
He broke his leg playing basketball.
Clooney did?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if it was broke, but he had to have a soft cast on.
Yeah. I'd just like to make that phone call to Joel Schumacher. So,
He was like, "What? You think this is gonna be the thing that sinks this fucking ship? You've been here every day. May as well be just sliding around on your butt."
so
I want to make one comment, though, before we move on.
Absolutely.
Alicia Silverstone's Batgirl costumes have built-in 1950s triangle boobs.
Yeah,
she's-
cone boobs.
And they made her boob shot was longer than the butt shots.
Right.
Yeah, and then it has like a weird nipple at the end.
Mm-hmm. They're all boobies.
Yeah.
Butts and boobs. That's what happens in the Batman franchise.
And they show up her like a close-up of her crotch, and it is not a cod piece. It is, you don't have any underwear on. Yeah.
Oh, hi there.
Yeah.
All right, so they get up to the top of the tower. They beat up Bane as well, like without fucking breaking a sweat. Bane is down.
Yeah, he gets like, he
kick the
grabs
juice
him.
out of him.
Yeah, and they kick his little cord,
Right.
and then he just falls over and dies.
Turns back into the
Deflates.
skinny kid.
Yeah, it comes off pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like they kick Bane's ass without much problem.
Well, you know, this
No.
was the prototype, and they were they got all their parts from Ace Hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they didn't go the extra mile and get
Ace
the good
is the place
stuff.
to make your supervillain.
Mm-hmm. That was actually just a hose from the backyard.
And he's like, I'm gonna get real parts if these things sell, but for
Yeah.
right now, I just kind of used whatever was around the house. That one in the top of his head is from my fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
So Batman punches out Freeze and starts to reverse the telescope on the town. He's starting to thaw it somehow.
He's using the rays from like Brazil
The sun, because his
okay.
through the satellites
yeah,
into the telescope to melt everything.
So he's just bouncing the sun
Sun.
off of mirror. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
No,
and then
it
he's
doesn't.
magnifying it with his hot butt.
Yeah, right. Check
And he's up
this
there
out.
going, hot cross buns, hot cross buns.
But Mr. Freeze is like, oh yeah, I already thought of that. So he blows his bombs, his freeze bombs.
Yeah, we know they're bombs because Bane walked around and went, bombs.
Bomb. Oh boy. So the city's still frozen. The telescope is destroyed. It's crashed down to the bottom of the
Sure.
whatever. I don't know why.
Harbor.
Yeah, harbor. Why isn't it like in the city? And they're not going to thaw it out in time. What are we going to do?
3 hot butts. Heat that thing up pretty quick.
I've already forgotten what happened.
Well, fucking
Yeah, I did too.
Barbara Gordon. I mean, not Barbara Gordon.
Barbara
She gets on the fucking
Pennyworth,
computer
I guess.
and just repositions the satellite, which isn't that what you guys are now telling me
Yeah.
Batman did?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did it again though.
So
It doesn't work.
What happens?
I guess that heats it up.
Huh? Why did they need the telescope then from before? Why didn't you just skip that step and just use...
Well, they pointed it at the ice instead of the telescope.
Why did they use the telescope in the first place?
Telescopes don't work like this.
Nothing works like this. But I'm saying for plot convenience, why... It seems like just using the satellites worked better than the telescope.
Yeah.
I
I think it's been more than 11 minutes and everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead. Okay. Batman tells Mr. Freeze that his wife is fine, and now you can make the right choice and help my friend give me the cure to stage 1. And Mr. Freeze is like, what? My wife is alive? Okay, here's the cure. I keep it in my arm.
Yep.
What?
It's in my arm.
Why do you keep the cure in your arm? That's
He
dumb.
has the cure
Just in
to
case.
McGregor's syndrome
For phase 1.
is you just buy better golf clubs.
Phase 2, I keep in my thigh, and I get that you can know where phase 3 is.
Just get some Callaways or some Pings. That'll cure your McGregor syndrome on the course.
Tennis, anyone?
Not with the McGregor club. They use a Wilson.
So, and then Freeze gets put in the same cell as Poison Ivy, so I guess what's he gonna do to her? He's pretty pissed because she told him that, Batman killed your wife.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he gonna
freeze her?
And then be like, ha ha, stupid looking?
I guess.
Or
I
just
don't know.
snap her neck. I don't know what he's gonna do to her. He's like, I'm going to make your life a living hell.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to give her frostbite.
Ooh.
He's like, take that. One toe at a time.
You're gonna need to get that amputated.
And she's gone completely catatonic as well,
Pretty much.
despite being kicked into her bed.
Right.
Like, that has screwed her whole life up.
Alfred gets cured, and they now live together forever. The whole fam.
Yep.
Yay.
How do you think Alfred feels, though, about his niece getting banged by Boy Wonder?
Ugh, probably extreme disappointment.
He's like, God, you could not have chose better.
Also, why are you my niece instead of Commissioner Gordon's daughter? It doesn't make any fucking
Why
sense.
is she Barbara Gordon without being Barbara Gordon?
I don't know. It's not even that they try to disguise her. She's got computer skills.
Everything. Yeah.
She's Barbara Gordon. It doesn't make fucking sense. I don't know. Maybe because Commissioner Gordon kind of stinks.
There's like, nobody's going to believe that buffoon and her are related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a cartoony guy, whereas Alfred's like, the viewers got an emotional attachment to Michael Go's Alfred.
Sure.
I do like
But why
his
have-
Alfred.
Yeah,
Why is she Barbara Gordon and not just, Melissa Pennyworth or
yeah, I don't know.
her own character
Yeah,
at that point?
right? Yeah, it's weird. Weird choice.
Because that's the one part that you don't change on the characters, usually the last name. But whatever.
Questions from my team. I'm starting with me.
All right.
I'll start with Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
So, now that Alfred's okay and his backup plan was to make himself a Max Headroom in the basement, did him and the Max Headroom have to fight each other to the death
Oh yeah, like
to prove who's the
you've
real
got
one?
a clone, like a lawnmower man clone.
Yeah, like at what point does the fake Alfred think he's the real Alfred and then kill the real Alfred?
And then does the digital version of Alfred like do a Skynet type thing? Like, I must help Batman and end all crime. Therefore, I must destroy all of humanity.
Sure.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then Batman has to like make this moral choice to kill his friend. Yes, he is a computer version of Max Headroom, but it's still Alfred. It's still his essence.
Yep.
Like there's a whole fucking moral quandary. Whereas Robin's like, I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it, man.
And he just unplugs it because they didn't have the internet yet. And his fucking ass is stuck in there.
Alfred!
Don't worry, I can plug it back in whenever you want. He's crazy, though.
You're going to be like, did you learn your lesson, Alfred? Do I need to unplug you again?
Exterminate, and do the dishes.
Next time you plug me back in, remember to count to 10 and ground the plug against the carpet.
I must clean silver. because he's a butler too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know who's cleaning up after these people if Alfred dies.
Nobody.
Oh, they are fucked.
No, because in one scene we see Alicia Silverstone has already made an entire mess of the only room she's in, and he was just down for 2 days.
Even if I'll go further than that, if anything this movie teaches me is that it's Bruce Wayne's not good at anything. He's not even good at running Bruce Wayne Enterprises.
No.
Yeah, he didn't get to work this entire time in this movie.
No, the only thing we know about that his company does is finance telescopes and make beakers.
Yep. Beakers. A lot of money in those.
The beaker market.
Yeah.
It's gone through the roof. All right. Oh, boy. What the fuck is Poison Ivy's motivation?
We couldn't figure it out earlier.
Like,
Why are we going to
she's
figure it out now?
obsessed with Batman and Bruce Wayne, but she has no, like... What is she doing? Why does she team up with Freeze? Why does she do anything?
Why does she take Bane?
How does she go crazy after she falls in her bed?
Is the way that her character is handled? Let's blow this all the way up. Is this the worst that's ever been done in any Batman movie?
Yeah, because they don't give her any kind of there's nothing relatable there. That you don't connect her in any way to Wayne Enterprises. She's just there.
She doesn't do anything awesome
No.
either. Like, whoa, that was kind of cool. That never happens.
No.
Her character sucks.
It does suck. It's somehow worse than Catwoman.
Yeah, and her
That was
hair,
hard.
and her hair just makes making her not sexy. What
Cheap
the fuck?
ass wig.
Dude, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole thing is she's a handler for Bane, and Bane sucks.
yeah, right.
Poof.
And like the whole her falling in love with Mr. Freeze for no reason. Well, I don't handle competition. Why are you competing for Mr. Freeze? What yours? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't
because
make
you
any
have
sense.
to have a man. What the fuck is this?
I
I'm
don't-
not trying to be all fucking liberal and women's lib, but why the fuck does Poison Ivy want to bang Mr. Freeze?
I don't know.
No reason other than like, well, she's got to have some dick in her, right?
Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's going to just be the only plant person. She'll be the sole queen of the earth and the only living being.
Then she'd have to kill Mr. Freeze.
Why not?
Then why does she need Mr. Freeze at all?
Oh, to kill the other people first.
Why doesn't she just use her plants to do that?
That's a good question.
It doesn't make any
Because
goddamn
there's
sense.
not enough sunglasses and trench coats for all of these snake plants that she's got. And they're like, all right, put on your sunglasses and your trench coat and wait for somebody to pick you at the craft bazaar that we're going to this weekend. And then once you get into their house, bite them.
Right. That makes sense.
They'll be intercepted by a team of penguins with missiles on their backs.
Yep. I want to know why they even put in the scene where she's like, when Batman asks her, Alicia Silverstone, who are you? And she goes, I'm Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, not Batwoman.
Yeah, that's not very
bad person. Why? Why even fucking put that in there?
Yeah.
Is it Disney? Because we got to think that this is 1997.
Sure.
And I remember about this time, like, we learned that, the Postman was the name, and people started
Sure.
saying it should be, the postal person or the postal
Sure.
whatever. PC started
the PC
at that
craze
point.
was on high right now.
And maybe this was backlash to that?
It was a bad attempt at a joke towards it
Maybe?
because it doesn't work on any
It doesn't-
level.
It doesn't. It's
And-
not funny, even if you're like into being offended.
Once she shows up, it's like, who are you? Okay, let's put this together, Batman.
Who are
the
you?
greatest detective ever. Who do you think she is?
I couldn't begin to guess, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, and
boy.
I who gives a shit? She's 16.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
In
She is technically a girl, Batman.
Well,
yeah.
she has to be in her
And-
20s because she goes
Why?
to Ox Post College or whatever.
Yeah, right.
she goes to private school,
Right. Yeah, she's a private school. I don't think
but
it's
she's been
college.
kicked out. So
Right.
she's not going to college yet. She's still a teenager of sorts.
I think she's a teenager.
Huh.
And I think that honestly, Bruce Wayne just pays Oxford to give her a degree.
Yeah.
So that way, when the bat thing doesn't work out for her anymore, she can be like, oh, I have a degree in business.
In stripping.
I went to Wharton. Oh, yeah? Did you really?
Yeah, fuck you, Batman. Whose fault is this? Like, who's to blame for Batman and Robin?
The execs,
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
I'll go one further than that.
Sure.
The children.
Yeah. They wanted a toy seller. Mm-hmm. And guess who was on board with the restaurant deal this time around? How far they fell from McDonald's.
Arctic Circle.
They're on Taco Bell now.
Oh, that's not as bad as Arctic Circle. Like Arctic Circle is sponsored. You're done.
No, that's regional. You'd be fucked.
Yeah.
They needed at least, but Taco Bell in '97's like that's not a good franchise.
Well, in the
deal.
future, everyone will be eating Taco Bell, Sam.
Well, every
That's
restaurant is. Yeah.
Right.
What do the 3 seashells do?
But I don't think we're ever going to know that.
No, you'll never know. So.
Yeah, it's the children. It's
children.
It's not Joel Schumacher's fault. It's not George Clooney's fault. It's the fucking men in ties that fucked this piece of shit up. It was doomed to begin with, right? But
the whole time that when Schumacher, because Schumacher didn't really want to work with Burton on this. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do Batman Year One,
right.
Frank Miller's Batman,
right.
the entire time.
Right.
Like when this tanked, he thought he still had enough clout with Warner that he's like, can I do Year One now?
Right.
And then they eventually realized that's probably a decent enough idea, and they half-ass Year One with Batman Begins, but it's still good.
Right.
But I guess now they're actually going to pony up and 20 years later do Batman Year One.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he had to get in the megaphone every day and remember he was like,
or the shoe phone.
Remember people were selling toys. That's like the pep talk to start the movie.
No, don't do that.
This is a cartoon. We're selling toys.
I mean, just because it worked one time. It worked one time. One time did making a movie to sell toys work.
Yeah.
Stop it with that. Yes, I understand that toys make a lot of money, but it worked one time.
Not as much as the movies make.
Right, you stupid idiots. God damn it. God damn it. We'll double dip. No, you fucking man in a tie. Stop it.
The amount of, the margin on the toys isn't as good either.
No.
Yeah.
More honesty. Who's next?
Or are we going to go to the big one now?
I think we should go to the big one. I don't have any more questions.
Right. So and I'm not going to phrase it, is it better? Did you like it more than Batman Returns?
Yes, I did.
Jackie?
Is that the one with the penguin?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I did as well.
Yeah.
Now, of the 3 post-Burton...
The 3 post-Burton.
Yeah, there's
2 post-Burton.
Oh, 2 post-Burton. So no, of the 3
that we've
after
done.
Of the 3 that we did you like this one the best?
No, I enjoyed Batman Forever still.
Really?
More. Yeah, I did. I really honestly didn't think Batman Forever was that bad. I think it's just a really misunderstood sequel of campy Batman.
Huh.
So Batman Forever was the one with
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Right.
Who was the love interest in that one? Vicky Vale?
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
I liked this one better.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I will say, since this pretty much leads us right into final recommendations, but mind you, we are making a statement that Batman Returns is the worst of these. That's a big statement to fucking make. Like, wow, you're going to really say that? Because everybody throws this one completely under the bus. This is bottom 100 type movie. The Batman Returns is worse than this.
Yeah, no, Batman Returns, of the 3...
The penguin one
sequels.
was the grossest.
Yeah, Batman Returns is... Because it's not Batman.
It's not Batman.
This is stupid as shit, but it's still Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
So final recommendations. I'm going to start. I was fucking shocked. I was dreading today for years. I knew it was going to come, and I never wanted today to come, and I'm like, fuck, this is going to suck so bad. It's like watching Birdemic for the 20th time. I don't want to do it. I kind of had a good time.
It was a good time.
I had a good time, too.
Yeah.
I'd give it a do.
You just have to realize that it is that dumb.
Yeah, I think I have to give this a do. Like, it's time to revisit this. If you haven't seen this since I saw it, which was when it came out, and you've been avoiding it like the plague, it's time to pick it up and put it in the machine and watch it one more time. It's not great. No. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, that was amazingly stupid. There's some like groan-worthy stuff here and there, but it's it sucks. It's shit, but it's kind of fun shit.
It's fun shit, and it flies for being over 2 hours long.
Right. Exactly.
You don't notice that this is a 2-hour movie.
It's wall-to-wall, nonstop butthole business.
Yeah.
Although by the end of it, I did scream in my little dog's face.
Why is that?
It made me want to scream in somebody's face, so I picked up my chihuahua and I was like, "Ah!" right in its face.
Because you were mad at it, or
It just,
Sanity.
yeah.
all right.
I couldn't really explain it. I just wanted to scream in this small dog's face.
Okay,
So
fair
I
enough,
did.
fair enough.
And thank God it was a dog that just kind of looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing? I gave him some treats afterwards.
All right, so 3 dues from us on Batman and Robin, surprisingly. Very surprisingly. Jackie, next week is your pick.
I have one this week.
You have one. That means you've had one 2 weeks in a row, which is impressive.
I know.
What are we watching?
We are watching Burlesque
Burlesque.
with Cher
Ooh.
and Christina Aguilera.
Oh, God.
I found this. I believe it's streaming on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Is this like they thought it was going to work because of Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's got like a 1.9.
Oh, no.
And like some of the reviews that I read were like, well, at least it's got costumes in it. I was like, oh my God, this is going to suck. I'm in.
They used a camera to make it.
All right, so if you're brave enough, go where eagles dare, as it were, and see Burlesque, and then talk to us about it. Talk to us at talk@sneakermadness.com. Call us. Go to our website, hit the call button. Facebook.com/SneakerMadness, Twitter.com/SneakerMadness. Tell us whether you think Batman and Robin was a failure or success on your rewatch, and if you at any point were aroused by bat private parts.
Bat butts.
Bat naughty bits.
I'm also looking for a stalker. You know.
Well, there we go.
I'd like to get my internet stalker going.
No.
No, I need to have one of these. Every famous person does. I read it on EMT.
Just dress your dog up like a stalker.
Right.
Put it out there with a trench coat and a pair
Yeah.
of sunglasses.
He's looking at me again.
Roger Stone did not
Then
do
you
anything
can
wrong.
Dress Justin up like a detective and have like a whole thing.
Did you see the Roger Stone Instagram video?
No.
He dressed his dog up, his little tiny dog. I don't even know what it was. And then did a Instagram filter where he talks for the dog and says, Roger Stone didn't do anything wrong. He should be free.
That's gonna work.
God.
That'll get him.
Okay. Anyways, enjoy your week, guys, and get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.